Hello, I'm Dr. Katrina Lantos Swett, and I want to commend you on the panel you're having today on youth-empowered solutions to address the many, many grave human rights issues that are out there. The question arises, how important are the youth in confronting the human rights crises that rage all around us in the world today? And I would say that your role is extremely important. You have the energy, you have the understanding of new technology, and you have the idealism needed to tackle some of the really overwhelming problems we face today. Now, one of the questions that has been asked is, how can youth meaningfully engage on matters relating to human rights? And perhaps I'll turn it around and begin by saying what I think is not the most valuable way to engage, and that is in what sometimes is called selectivism as opposed to activism. It's a kind of lazy activism that thinks by sharing a hashtag or tweeting out a picture here or there, you're doing something meaningful. And while those kinds of activities can make you feel good, they don't really indicate the kind of commitment necessary to bring about real change. So the first thing I would encourage the youth listening to this message to do is to really take stock of ways in which you can get engaged and involved in a truly meaningful way. It may mean organizing a new community or group of people to lobby and to agitate on behalf of the cause that you're engaged in. It might mean working on behalf of a particular candidate or another existing organization that is advocating for the cause that you care about. It could involve fundraising. Funds are always sort of the gas in the engine of any movement, and helping to raise those resources to be able to advance a cause is another meaningful way to get engaged. Social media is obviously a very valuable tool, but I think it's important to bear in mind that it can be a double-edged sword. The same social media that can be used to mobilize and to organize and to spread word about human rights causes can also sometimes be abused as a highway of hate for those peddling hate and anti-Semitism, white supremacy, neo-Nazi philosophies. And so one of the things that I think youth-empowered solutions can do is to try and bring pressure to bear on the huge social media companies to do a better job of making sure that their sites and their platforms are not being used as highways of hate to propagate abuses and targeting of vulnerable communities. I think something that's very important is that the youth, as they get engaged on behalf of human rights issues, not tire in well-doing. Victories will not come easily. They will not come quickly. This is the long game that we are playing when it comes to fighting for human rights, democracy, rule of law, and justice around the world. And you have to be ready to be in it for the long haul. There will be victories, there will be setbacks, but I often like to think of the words of my late father, Congressman Tom Lantos, the founder of the Congressional Human Rights Caucus and the only survivor of the Holocaust ever elected to serve in the United States Congress. He said, "The veneer of civilization is paper thin. We are its guardians, and we can never rest." I think that spirit of vigilance, that determination not to rest in the struggle for human rights, is one that will serve you well as you think about ways that you can engage on behalf of making this world that we share together a more just and a more rights-respecting place. I wish you all the best, and thank you for your time.